Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back on another video, and today I am finally going to be reviewing Commander Class Ultra Magnus. I have been waiting to see what they do with this guy for Studio Series 86. He is the first Commander class for Studio Series, and using the first successor to Optimus Prime, following, of course, Rodimus Prime, came afterward, was a very logical choice in my opinion. And I am looking forward to seeing how good the figure is, considering that he doesn't have the smaller cab robot, but he's very much like the masterpiece that he is based on. And boy, does the box look great. And I can't wait to get him out of the box, whether or not to see if he is worth it, and if the next Commander class for Studio Series is going to be worth it too. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch on my spring store today. And here you could see Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus in his robot mode, in his full-on glory, and you can really see how much detail they put into this guy. It's just a fantastic looking figure. A lot of posability. You could see the light piping there for his eyes, which really do look great if you can get a good light source behind there to show that off. He does have the finger pointing. He does have pretty good articulation. The shoulders are the weird part, I'll say. And that stems from the fact that he does have like a good, ratchet here. And, but he can do the shoulder thing, and it's a weird disconnect in the way that the shoulders pop out. He does not have a dedicated butterfly joint per se, but you can, because it's part of the transformation, you can kind of pop these things out here just to give him the, shoulder joint like so, but then you can kind of see how it like pops out there in order to give him that butterfly. But that's because of the way that Ultra Magnus's model was created to begin with. It was designed after the original Diaclone toy that, was a powered up version of Battle Convoy that became Optimus Prime. But this figure does not utilize, it's still the white cab here on the back that connects to the rest of the robot, or the rest of the vehicle to become the robot. But it doesn't transform into a white Optimus Prime underneath, which is fine because it's not something that he did in the cartoon. He only did it, and now at this point, I think it's only been 2 different forms of media that he had the white Prime underneath. But another cool feature that he has, first and foremost, he does have the missile launchers that can, they don't actually fire, but the missiles are removable. They do come in 2 pieces inside the packaging. And you can also utilize the blast effects that he comes with. He comes with a lot of blast effects, and you can put that right here, like so, and pop the missile in here, just to give you that effect, like he's firing a missile right at you, which is very, very cool too. The amount of blast effects he does come with is very much the same, but they're painted in a way that kind of look like smoke in some places. And let's get this shoulder missile back on. He also has a pretty cool feature that is something that was seen in the movie, is that the chest opens up, and this is actually spring loaded. So this pops up like so, and then out and opens up with the matrix chamber. It kind of makes me really hope that when they do the Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, that his matrix chamber has a cool flip out thing as well. And it's the same matrix that you've seen, and it is removable, just like you've seen in other, toys now at this point, because they've done a lot of matrix accessories with a lot of these toys, from Rodimus and Optimus and Galvatron now at this point. So it's been a lot. But, the figure itself does have pretty good ankle articulation there for his size, and being able to pose the way that you need him to. Very good knee ratchet joints. The way that they do this little feature here that is designed to be just like the 86 movie is they have these posts that you can disassemble Ultra Magnus, both in the legs here, which you gotta have to pop out like so, and it's similar to Combiner Wars, but it's not the same. And then this can kind of pop back in, so you can reenact that whole scene where he gets ripped apart. That was actually supposed to be the way that it was supposed to happen in the 86 movie. Was he was supposed to get, he was supposed to get dismembered, like they were supposed to quarter him. And you can also do so with the shoulder, but the joint here, you have to actually half transform it there to pop that off, and it's kind of a pain to get back on, but that's all right. Still, it is such a cool looking figure, and I'm really, really pleased with him just as he is. He's so much more imposed, like gives a lot of a better silhouette to his character than the previous versions that are out there. He comes with 2 different blasters, as you can see. The first blaster is his normal weapon, and the second is the same blaster that he picks up when he says, let's try to salvage this thing. And that was when they land on Junkion, and he's about to go outside in order to be able to repair the shuttle. And he can obviously hold each blaster in both hands, or he does have storage for one right there, on his back, so you can keep one stored away if need be. And that's pretty cool to actually have the storage necessary for him to get right into battle, into the thick of things. And for comparison, you can see him here with the Earthrise Optimus Prime that I have customized, as well as my Kingdom Rodimus Prime. So you get the 3 Autobot commanders standing there triumphantly. And here you can take a look at him next to one of the Dinobots. This is Sludge, as well as Kingdom Ultra Magnus, and you can see the difference that's night and day between both versions of Ultra Magnus there. And of course, I've customized that Kingdom figure, but I still think that this new one just blows it out of the water. And for original comparison's sake, here is Studio Series Ultra Magnus next to his original G1 counterpart. Of course, this is my reissue, and obviously I don't have the missile launchers there that would normally go here, but you can see the differences between them. Another thing just to point out is the fact that the original figure did have the white Optimus Prime underneath that connected to the back of him, but you can see he was just like a rolling brick, whereas this new figure you could do so much with him. And here he stands next to his original advertised rival of being Galvatron, which of course was more so in order to keep the spoiler away from Rodimus Prime taking command afterward. And here you can see much of the 86 cast of Autobots. They're put together as they are, and you could see how awesome and imposing Ultra Magnus looks compared to all of them. I actually think his size is not that bad, especially when you consider it, but I also think it looks great next to, like I said, the rest of these 86 Autobots. Moving on to transformation here, we are going to start off with his missile launchers here actually do come off, and we're going to put them onto the side. And his fists, of course, we're going to want to have closed because this part of the transformation, you kind of get in the way a little bit if they're not closed. So we're going to pop off the arms like so, straighten out the arms, and it folds down like so. This is very reminiscent of his original G1 self, where it actually just kind of slid down, but it does go over the fists, which is very nice. Then, of course, we're going to open this like so, and you'll notice that there's these parts here fold in, and that keeps everything nice and straight. We're going to open this part here. What that does is that prevents you from flipping it back over, and we're going to do the same thing on the other arm, like so. Close that up, and this piece right here. Then what we do is we're going to unclip the red tabs. That is going to loosen the shoulder joints, and I don't have any fingernails, so it's a little on the difficult side there. There we are. And once that opens up, you can now open up the arms to give you that old style part here. So then I'm going to pop open these blue sections here. They'll go in like so. And from here, I'm going to flip open the arms, the legs, like this. And I want to show this off here because the way that the legs transform is that this part of the leg is supposed to come up, and then it comes down all the way when you do the transformation. There's a step that, you know, when I first transformed it, I kind of missed that step the first time I was messing with the toy. And the instructions tell you to like close the legs at this point, but I'm not going to because there are certain parts that need to like fold into position. And then of course these parts here will open up like so. The upper part of the body will flip open like this, and then this is going to go in. And before we actually rotate that, I need to disconnect parts of the truck from the back here, and we have to just separate parts of the truck out. It all kinds of folds. It's like a lot of different folds of, you know, parts here in order to get that truck mode. And if you notice the way that this is kind of standing like this is very reminiscent of the original animation model in the way that he transforms, in how the truck would literally pop open this way. And so I'm going to flip open the wheels like that. The head is going to pop out this way, and it needs to get out of the way so that Ultra Magnus can deal with this transformation. And from here, this part of the truck will come up and over. I need to get the smokestacks up. This comes down. Tires. All the parts in place before you close everything up. It probably is the easiest way for the transformation to work. And from there, we can close up the cab like so. And the front section here will close over, and the smokestacks will stick out. From there, there's these tabs on Ultra Magnus's head that will tab in over here, and that'll keep his face straight. Now, if you noticed here, this part popped out. When you get the Ultra Magnus toy, these parts are in the paper bag. Do not misplace them, but they are supposed to go in like so, and I think they do that for safety reasons. But when you transform Ultra Magnus, his face will basically plant into these tabs that are right here, and that'll keep everything set and squared away. From here, this part will, now that that is up and in, you'll turn this in like so. Actually, before you even do that, you rotate this around, then rotate this back. And then we can move the arms up like so. Rotate that. It's really nice and clicky. I like the way that they, that the joints themselves are done this way, because with the ratchet joints, it just keeps everything, from rotating a certain way. You're able to, you don't have to worry about posability years down the road with a figure this big and this hefty. And so then from here, we're going to get the arms put together like so. That's what I'm missing. So this part here is going to flip open like this. And what this is going to do, this is actually going to complete a look that was done with the original toy, and then it'll come together. So you can see, like, whenever you're transforming something, especially when you're on camera, that sometimes you'll make mistakes in a step when a transformation is this involved. But I really appreciate the detail that was put into this to make this transformation work for this character. So I think it's actually worth it in the long run. So I'm going to get these parts set and squared away. And we'll close this up and over so that we can create the platform. And last part here, this will flip open out. And I'm purposefully not connecting this because I want... purposely not connecting this because I realize that the rest of the parts have to connect first. And so that's why we're working on the rest of the transformation. It does fold in like so. This pops open this way, flips open. Just be careful because the joint here, it has to go in just right, and you don't want to go too far or this will pop off. And that'll go in like so. And then we'll bring the legs together. But the legs kind of, you almost have to like not put them together because you need to get the arms together first, so that so everything sits securely like so. And then the tabs will line up with this part right here, which actually slides this way, and then we'll come in, and you do the same thing on the other side. this will slide over and go in like so. And of course, some parts are going to come untabbed as you're putting it together. I think that is to be expected because of the amount of, different amount of joints that are utilized in order to make this transformation work. But in the end, boy, does it look good. So let's just tighten him up. And there we have Ultra Magnus in his alternate mode. One final thing that you can do is his weapons do store here. This is how kind of how the original toy did it. Believe it or not, actually, the original toy would connect to these white parts, but for some reason the animation model decided to do it differently. The truck cab itself can slide forward so that it can turn, and it is removable. So you can remove the white cab in and of itself, and that is cool. But, clearly for most folks with Ultra Magnus, they want to keep it intact, and I think that's the reason why they did it this way, is so that the joint stays. And if it's slid up this way, you can turn the wheel as need be. And I think he looks awesome. Now, another cool feature with this Ultra Magnus is the fact that the ramps here can slide down like so. You can bring in one of an Autobot Deluxe here. I'll bring in Smokescreen. We'll bring in Sideswipe. I don't think would fit all the way unless you kind of really slide that in all the way like so. And we'll close him up like that. And on the top, you can of course fit more than one car. So I'm just going to put Red Alert there on top, which is much better, I think, in comparison to when you compare him to his Kingdom figure. It is like a night and day difference in how well they were able to implement the car carrier mode. It's like here attempts were made, and boy oh boy did you not get there when it came down to it. Especially when you compare him to his Generation 1 self here, which I'll put the cab part like so you can see the size comparison of the two. It's very much like almost like a 1-to-1 in size, and I think that's very welcome, because here you can use the original as a car carrier mode. And the original toy, this white part here is how the ramp would stay. Whereas on this toy, the parts here are not colored, and it's this part that's keeping this whole section intact. And when you compare truck modes, here just bringing in my customized Earthrise Optimus Prime, and this really makes me long for a much bigger trailer and a much better truck overall so I can't wait to see what they do with Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And for one quick fun thing having had here is Galvatron riding on top of Ultra Magnus as he did in the UK comic, which it was done with the toy colored version, but I didn't want to get that out of one of the containers there. So, just showing here, Kingdom Galvatron riding on top of Ultra Magnus, just for some iconic moments in Transformers history. So let's wrap this guy up. So does Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus belong in your collection? Answer that question, I believe, is a resounding yes. This is probably gotta go up there as one of the best toys of the year. And I think that this really captures the character of Ultra Magnus very well. I think that it nails both the large robot mode, it nails the car carrier mode, it gives you a really good articulate figure, it delivers so many play features that it's well worth it. And and that empty spot there is where Kingdom Ultra Magnus was, and it is where this figure will be hanging out moving forward, at least in my collection. But I wonder what you guys think about Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers discussions, retrospectives, and more coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.